Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome to the Fly With Us podcast. This podcast is bringing the art of conversation, self-love, self-care, mental health care and protection, life lessons, love lessons, and everything in between. Today, we're going to talk about educating yourself. I'm Lady Bounce.
I'm Kryptonite.
All right, so we're in quarantine now.
Yes. So what are you learning? What are you putting into your brain at this particular time?
What are we putting in our brain?
So let's go with this mindful day, this mindfulness moment. Unleashing the inner dweeb. I allow myself to love what I love. I allow myself to love who I love. I give myself permission to do what makes me joyful, even if the others do not understand. As school children, we learn the unofficial curriculum of blending in with the crowd. We don't want to be labeled as dorks or dweebs, nerds or imbeciles. So we learn to alter our personalities a bit, to tamp down the weirdness and originality. Unfortunately, this habit persists into adulthood, and life loses some of its shine as we push ourselves into the personality that doesn't quite fit. But as we age, we can begin to recover the suppressed dork, to find those weird things that make life worth living. Maybe that one nerdy something goes from being a side concern to being a reason for living. Have you dropped one of your hobbies or interests because you thought it wasn't cool enough? As you sit in your meditation space today, you may notice social pressures intruding on your thought process. You may notice this subtle tailoring to imagined expectations. Release the thoughts of these expectations one by one. Imagine yourself to be free and unencumbered. Reduce the inner censorship of your personality.
I like that.
I like it too.
My inner dweeb has always been my outer dweeb. So when I think about, is there something that I stopped doing because somebody else thought it was uncool? I'd have to say no, not really. I think I stopped doing the things that made me happy and made me joy, brought me joy creatively, because I didn't have time. Now I got time.
Don't we have time?
I got time. So in my time that I've been using, of course, I'm still working. I'm working from home. But in between those moments of working at home, in my house, we've really done some new things and then gotten back to some old things that we used to do. And it's been quite lovely. Like, now I don't...
Quite lovely. Has it been quite lovely?
It's been quite lovely.
It's been quite lovely.
Quite lovely. Pinkies up and everything. Pinkies up. So yeah, while I'm not exactly enjoying being confined per se, I am making the most of my confinement time.
I can dig it.
Yeah.
So I am essential personnel.
Oh, ain't you fancy?
Therefore, I don't have time to just sit around at home. But I kind of wish I could. but no, during this time of quarantine, during this downtime when I'm not at work being essential, I am attempting to broaden my horizons.
Okay.
So with everything that's been happening, I've taken on some new educational materials.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You tell.
I shall, let me tell you. Now, the first thing, I saw a video that was really transforming. I mentioned that in the last video. And the person spoke about frequency.
Right.
And how the earth has a frequency, how we all have a frequency. Every living thing has a frequency. Mm-hmm. So I find that to be quite interesting. And basically, the gist of the video is that we are evolving and we have to up our frequency. And in order to do that, to be quite honest with you, we have to cleanse ourselves of these toxins that we have taken into our body and consumed on a regular basis for years.
So do we cleanse ourselves in the waters of Lake Minnetonka, or what are we talking about here?
I wouldn't suggest you go to Lake Minnetonka right now. I suggest some herbal teas. You know what I'm saying? Maybe get in some fruit and vegetables on a regular basis.
Okay.
That type of stuff. But so I'm learning about frequencies, and I'm learning about Reiki, and I'm learning about the natural abilities that we have to heal ourselves. But we don't use that part of our brains. We don't use the totality of our minds.
Right.
So I'm learning about meditation and how you have to like tap into your inner being in order to reach a higher level of consciousness. That sounded good, didn't it? I'm telling you.
Look at you.
I'm telling you, on my way. Pretty soon I'm gonna be in here with a dashiki and a halo up in this mug, like
I get the drums.
But I mean, I'm making fun of it, but I'm dead serious.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, I really want to get into that. So I'm learning that. I've also recently started trying to attempt to learn Spanish.
Oh, how's that going?
While I sleep, I listen to it when on my downtime, when I come home and I'm about to go to sleep from my job, whatever. I put my little thingy in my ear. Now, can I recite a Spanish word to you right now?
No, but it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. It's on its way.
I like it.
I got hola for you.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Hey, it's the meat. No, I almost got. You thought I was about to say something, didn't you? I ain't that advanced yet. I ain't that far yet. I ain't slept that long yet.
Okay, so in learning new things, I've also been learning some new things. One of the good things that has been nice about the quarantine is like a lot of educational and technology websites are giving away free webinars and free seminars. So I have done like 9 hours of webinars for professional development that I can use for my career, and those hours count. Save that. I have about 6 or 7 more webinars scheduled between now and April 30th. And they're only like, the shortest one is a half an hour, the longest one was 2 hours. But I've learned how to use like Google Hangouts and Google Meets and do things that I wasn't doing with like Google Classroom before I started taking these webinars. So since they've put all the education to be online now, I've had to learn these new tools and tricks and ways to service my students, especially my special needs students, using these fancy new technology things. And it's been great. I've learned a lot.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, for some of us who aren't in the educational field,
Okay.
if you just want to be educated on something, YouTube is the joint.
Yes.
You can pretty much go to YouTube and learn pretty much anything.
Anything.
They just put it up there in the search bar, and there's a video for that mug. I don't care if it's 2 minutes. I don't care if it's 3 minutes. Use the 2-minute video to get you information that you can use elsewhere, and put that in the search bar to get more information.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's the bomb. And the other thing that I have, and I've been doing this for a little while now, is if you're not hip to Great Courses, Great Courses is the PBS thing,
Okay. Yeah.
So Great Courses is basically this warehouse of lectures that you can go to. They've got a great big catalog and everything.
Right.
And if you've ever seen Great Courses on PBS, then you'll know that these are reputable professors that work at reputable universities and colleges, and they give lectures on different things. Anything that you want. If you want Greek mythology,
Right.
Tai Chi, I plan on purchasing, and they got a sale going on right now. I plan on purchasing some stuff about yoga, Tai Chi.
Okay.
What was the other thing I was getting? Hold on. Oh, Tai Chi. Queen Gong. I don't even know what Queen Gong is. But
Qigong.
Thank you. See,
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
But it's some type of martial arts thing.
Yes.
And you can get both of them for like $40.
Right.
And you download them to your phone, and they're yours. If you switch your phone, you have an account at Great Courses. If you switch your phone, you just transfer that account over to your new phone, and that lecture that you purchased is there on your phone. So you have it at your leisure whenever you want to listen to it.
Wow.
So yeah, and they've got all types of stuff: money, banking, finances, entrepreneurship. They even have workbooks. They had this one workbook for using some type of Photoshop editing tool.
Oh, wow.
It was like it's $199 for the course, but you get the lecture course and you also get a PDF workbook. It's an actual workbook that you get. So that's nice. If you ever had problems with numbers and you wanted to brush up on your math, take a course in algebra, take a course in geometry.
I am currently taking a course in high school algebra because as a high school intervention specialist, a lot of my kids struggle with algebra, and although I passed it in middle school, high school, and in college, I draw a complete blank now when I go to do it. So I have to reteach myself the way that they're doing it with Common Core so I can teach it to them and I can help them with it. So yeah. And
let's face it, with all of the distractions that we have going on in our daily lives, we forget those things that are important. It's important to learn about your numbers.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's important to learn about economics. It's important to learn about basic mathematical skills. It's important to learn basic business functions and basic business laws so you don't get taken when you go to try and do something for yourself, So it's just a good thing to just educate yourself, and it's so much easier now. You don't really have to go look for anything. Everything is at the push of a button nowadays.
Right.
So you don't have to go and look for everything. You can watch a documentary on Netflix with your kids, something historical, something about math, something about the universe. You know what I'm saying? Pick something educational that you and your kids can watch together, and then at the end of that documentary, y'all can see what y'all learn and do a trivia about it and see who learned what from that documentary.
I agree. And on my Facebook page, every time I get a new resource or somebody sends me something, I immediately share it. So I've shared things about virtual field trips. So I've taken a couple of virtual field trips to places that I will, never probably get to go. But the pictures are so vivid, and each one has like a little paragraph about, what this is, what you're looking at. Two of the most famous libraries in New York have released 300,000 titles that you can read for free online.
Really?
Yeah, it's on my Facebook page. Go scroll my wall. Look,
I
told I'm like in a couple of teacher groups, and I said, look, I've got so much stuff I can't post it all in here, but if you scroll my wall, I've made everything that I found, public. Feel free to use it, share it, whatever. I got stuff for special needs kids, different apps that normally cost money that they're now free. So I encourage our listeners to fully take advantage of this free stuff and the stuff you were naming that's low cost. I mean, what's $40 to really invest in yourself?
Right.
And invest in yourself to a point where you can share that information with somebody else, and then they can share it with somebody else. And then think about how that will really flip us as people.
Right.
As a people back to where we need to be.
Exactly. And this is the time to start learning all of this stuff, man. I mean, because the things are going to be so different. When there's never ever going to be a normalcy again. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to be that.
We'll have a new normal.
It's going to be a new normal, and who knows what that's going to entail. You know what I'm saying? And then if everything comes to pass the way everything has come to pass, then we know that this is not the last that we're going to see of this.
Right. And we can't afford to be on the outs of any of it.
Right. So what we have to do right now is take this time to build our immune systems and get our bodies together and get our minds together so that when it does come back around, we're better equipped to fight it. We'll be invincible to it. We won't be vulnerable to it. Because right now, if anybody's really paying attention to what's really happening, people are dying. Most of the people that are dying are people that have underlying medical conditions. It worsens the underlying medical conditions. So your maybe that person did die of a heart attack, but that there was also COVID-19 because maybe it sped up. You know what I'm saying? Whatever condition it was, it sped it up and caused the problem. You know what I mean? Right. I don't know if that. I mean, I would think that matters. It
definitely matters because in all the stories that have come out of people who have passed away as a result of contracting coronavirus. They, further down in the story, it'll say, oh, well, she had a heart attack in, 2017 and she had a stroke in 2015. Okay, well, she was already operating from a compromised immune system to begin with, and probably didn't do the things that she should have done. If she had a stroke, in 2015, and then you come back in 2019 and she had a heart attack and now she's got corona, she obviously, missed the mark somewhere when it came to taking care of her health. And not just, women, but just the particular story I'm thinking about. Like, this woman had a stroke and then she had a heart attack and then she got corona and she passed, and she was only 42. But that was as a result of having these other things, and she was obese. So I'm pretty sure that all of those things played a factor in her body not being able to heal as fast.
And we're not under, and I don't think too many people really do understand that this is what matters. It matters that you're not in the greatest physical condition. It matters because you do get compromised. And I think, we get so caught up in the distractions, and we get so brainwashed by what they put out there, what they want us to do, and how they want us to feel, and what they want us to eat, and how they want us to live, that we don't realize that the information that we need is really right there in front of us. We just have to stop being selfish and stubborn. We're self-indulgent. We don't want it if it doesn't taste good. It usually doesn't taste good unless it doesn't have bacon on it and mayo and cheese. Oh my God, I want a cheeseburger. But that's just real talk. Like, for real, that's just where we are. If it don't have any of that on there, we ain't feeling that. You know what I'm saying? We so hooked on meat. We just want meat all the time. And it sells from an animal. So there's fat there. There's cancer cells there that we don't even really realize. There's disease there. Because they give these animals antibiotics. They give them drugs. That's why we get messed up on drugs, because we're eating these animals that have these antibiotics, which makes us immune, or makes some of the antibiotics we have for ourselves not work, because we've already been eating all these antibiotics. So these viruses and these bacteria mutate, and what we think should work for these illnesses doesn't. And we find ourselves either finding a part 2 of the same bacteria. Like they were saying, syphilis was making a strong comeback because it was showing resistance. It was showing resistance to the antibiotic. That was like,
I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Yeah.
This is one of those moments where I go, thank God I'm married. And he's only married to me.
Well,
And as far as I know, and as far as I know,
don't go digging, sister.
As we talked about on previous shows, as far as I know, I am his only partner. However, no. But as you talk about like the animals and things that are in the animals, I suffer from fibroid tumors, and
I got those too.
It was a result. It never clicked to me. I love chicken. Can't give it up. It's the universal meat, yard bird, whatever you call it. But most of the 99% of the chicken that we eat are females. And they inject those females with hormones.
Chicken is female. Roosters are males.
Yeah, but they throw a couple of them in there.
They throw a couple of those in there. That must be what they sell to churches.
Yeah, like I did some research, and I don't want to go no further because I'm not going to.
You ain't gonna mess us up.
I ain't ready. Okay. Yeah, I'm not ready, so y'all not ready. But yeah, they throw some of those in there. But they inject those female chickens with hormones. We of course are females, and we eat them, and we're eating these hormones, and they have really bad effects on our body.
Hormones, on our bodies,
So I
definitely mention the perm, that was in the perms that we was using that was causing us to have fibroids. Like, how does something that I put in my hair mess with my reproductive system?
Because it's a chemical and it's going straight to your brain. Those chemicals go straight to your brain and
straight into your blood system.
Yes.
Straight into. So we have to we got to educate ourselves on the things that we have been doing that's been harmful to our bodies, and when we need to change our mindset, because this is the time to make that change.
And I will put this out there. We are not saying don't eat meat, don't eat chicken, go straight vegan. We are not saying that. We are saying be more mindful of what you're putting in your mouth when it's time to eat.
Hey, listen. Y'all see who's sitting in these seats?
Yeah.
We ain't no skinny minis.
No, we
ain't sitting up here vegan models and sitting around here like, I only drink shakes. No. You talking, do we 2 carnivorous meat and potato chicks? We eat our meats. You know what I'm saying? We like Arby's up in this joint. We love the
We have the meat.
Yes. But even at some point though, you have got, the fact is what it is, you either gonna continue to wear your blinders, or you gonna rip that shit off your face and you gonna look and say, you know what, I think I love me more than I love what society wants me to be.
Right.
What society wants me to do.
And I will say that, you know, since my husband has gone vegan, even before he went vegan, he had, you know, stopped eating, you know, chicken long before I did. I haven't eaten beef or pork in over 20 years. So I was, you know, I'm just chicken, turkey, fish. But as a result of him going vegan, we started incorporating more vegetarian type meals. And it's okay. There's only 2 things that I truly miss about not eating full on meat. And that's Skyline chili dogs. Even though I've learned how to make them at home with turkey chili and turkey hot dogs, it's just not the same. It's just not. And I miss like gummy candy, like gummy worms, gummy bears. However, nuts.com has gelatin-free gummy bears and gummy worms. So they're a nice alternative. Still not quite the same, but I can live with that. And so, you know, we've incorporated, you know, not eating sugar itself. Like we use Splenda and Truvia and try to get natural sugar from like fruits and vegetables. However, little Debbie, that's my cousin. It's my homegirl. I got plenty of Debbie and Deborah and Shantae and Shamika and her whole crew upstairs in my snack box. And so therein lies.
I might have to visit Debbie.
Hey, Debbie brought the whole crew with her this time around.
I ain't mad at Debbie.
Yeah, she
That's
brought
my girl.
I was like, hey, don't you know it's only supposed to be 6 people in the spot? You brought the whole crew.
She ain't following the rules.
She ain't following the rules.
That's why I'm gonna take one of them off your hands.
Okay.
Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, you can take Keisha.
I got you. I take her.
Yeah,
I roll.
take her
Me and
with
Keisha gonna roll out. I feel you.
Right.
I feel you. But yeah, so now it's just a good time to be in the house and learn something. You know what I'm saying? Learn something new. And hey, by all means, man, and I'm gonna say this, man, learn about history, man. Learn about our history. Learn about the history of Black people and what Black people have gone through in this country, and then from there make a choice to live different. You know what I'm saying? Make a choice to live different, and I mean different in a way that we're not conform. We're not conforming. We're not trying to integrate. Let me put it that way. We're not trying to integrate. Let's do our own thing.
Yes.
Let our own thing be natural. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Let them do what they're gonna do, because what they're doing is what, you know what I'm saying? They doing a futuristic thing. They trying to have they flying cars. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to do that.
Right. We just trying
and
to
believe
live.
me when I tell you, they not trying to include us. We are not in the projection plan.
No, not
for
at all.
any of that. We're not. So, and I'm talking, and when I say we, I mean poor people. You know what I'm saying? They don't want Black folks in there neither. But more importantly, they don't want your broke ass in there. Okay,
say that.
That's more importantly what it is they don't want your brokenness in there.
Right.
You can only go fly in a car if you got the money to pay for a flying car. So what we have to do is get back to the naturalness, the naturalness of the earth, of being one with the earth, of it feeding off of the earth, of healing ourselves with the earth, through the earth.
Right.
And being in tune and one with the earth. The frequency of the earth is on the rise. And if we're going to survive, we have to be part of that frequency.
I agree.
We got to tap into that frequency, and we got to be part of it.
You were talking about, they don't want our brokenness at the table. That's not just money wise. They don't want your broken brain and your broken mindset at the table. So you could have $50 billion in your pocket, but if you still think subpar, sub-level, you still ain't gonna be at the table.
Let's face it. Anybody with $50 million ain't thinking subpar or sub-level. The only thing
You
they're
never
thinking
know.
is how can we keep them there and we
Right.
keep rising. He's already integrated. He's in their system. That's
Right.
that's the house cat right there.
Right.
You feel me? That's the house cat. No, we talking about on this lower level, on this plane called earth. Where,
Right.
what do they say? The meek shall inherit the earth. The righteous
Right.
shall inherit the earth.
The meek.
See, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know how it go, but this is me. This is how I feel. This is just my opinion. Please, people, this is not gospel. This is not fact.
This is just you.
I am not saying that I read this, wrote this, heard this, saw this, printed it. Nobody said none of that. This is just my opinion. My opinion is that they can't go nowhere but up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they done built all that they can build. They done messed up Texas. That's why Texas is flooding the way that it flood. Because they got too much cement down there. The ground ain't soaking up the water the way it used to. So you got all of this hard, non-porous land, and you dropping all this water on it. There's nowhere for the water to go. So yeah, it's gonna flood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they can't do nothing but build up. Which is why they want that radiation that that bullshit, that high ass radiation, because they really are about to have some flying cars. And I feel like there's gonna be levels to this. There's gonna be the people that's gonna be down here that's gonna inherit the earth, and it's gonna be them cats up there that's gonna be flying around in them dang on metal cars. Now I'm gonna tell you, I don't think people down here on the earth is gonna last a whole lot. Shit's gonna die. Hey, the stuff's gonna die. Waterfalls is gonna stop flowing. Riverbeds is gonna dry up. But that don't mean we don't have to go out without a fight. You feel what I'm saying? And that don't mean that we don't teach our children.
Right.
Cause there's a chance. You know, we ain't gonna see it.
Right.
But that don't mean that we don't instill the seeds to germinate so that it grows and blossom into something bigger, into something that we wish we could see and something that we want to see. Because we might not be here physically to see it, but that don't mean we won't be able to see it.
I like it.
I mean, we will be of the earth. We are energy. We'll be of the earth. So we'll just be in a different realm. Every once in a while, we'll stop in and say hi to a loved one and be like, oh, y'all did that? That's what's up. Y'all still got my garden out there in the backyard? That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Tell us what we doing this week.
All right.
What we doing?
What we doing this week, y'all, is we are learning something. We are putting something into our heads. We're going to learn a different language because we all need to be on one accord. So we should all be able to speak to one another. And if that means that you have to speak in another person's native tongue, then you should learn to do that, especially if they have taken the time to learn to speak in yours. And it's just a benefit of life anyway. I mean, ain't it cool to learn 3 or 4 different languages? You can sweet talk anything out of anybody. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Learn a different language. Most of us wish we had paid more attention in our required language classes in high school. Not only is it helpful when traveling, but on your resume, it can add tremendous value when you can speak more than one language. Studies show that only 5.5% of the world speaks English as a primary language. You can take classes online, purchase a book, or take classes at your local college. Learning a new language will not only increase your global understanding, but it will also open up new opportunities for you. There are more than 6,500 different languages spoken in the world today. So pick one and start studying. Expand your mind.
I like it.
And I thought it was actually awesome.
So, as you know, we always talk about, the brain, and today we are talking about learning something new. So when you learn a new skill at any age, it has a specific and a definite impact on your brain that scientists know a lot about. After you learn something new, your brain is never the same again. Your brain first takes everything you learn and it goes into your short-term memory, which strengthens your short-term memory over time. Those short-term memories then become your long-term memories. Those long-term memories allow you to create new habits in your brain and in your body. Sleep is the most important thing to do when transferring new knowledge, hence your Spanish while you sleep. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. Learning new things releases dopamine for your brain. It allows myelin to grow in your brain, which is something that signals your neurons to move faster, giving you quicker reflexes, making you able to think on the spot That don't mean lie on the spot. Don't think of a lie real quick. That means that you're able to think on your feet a lot more. So not having new experiences and learning new things will slow your brain down and make your brain less responsive. Adult learning is good for your health and has been shown to slow the onset and progression of Alzheimer's and dementia, as well as preventing general slowing of your mental faculties.
All right. Now, before we get started into the next thing, I just want to say real quick, put it out there real quick, learn a trade. Learn how to do something with your hands. Learn how to provide a service that you can barter with, be it electrician, plumbing, learning how to do wood, welding. Learn a trade. We need to switch from like being in college mode and learning about business and all of that stuff.
Absolutely.
Listen to that on YouTube, but learn a trade. Learn to do something with your hands. Learn how to make something.
I like it.
All right, thank you.
And you can learn how to take care of yourself by listening to and following Fly With Us on all social media platforms and any place where you get your favorite podcast. You can always email us at flywithusla@gmail.com. I'm Lady Bounce.
I'm Kryptonite, y'all.
And we out.
We're out.